What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Script Academy welcoming you to our next deck profile here on the channel. Today we've got Ryan with his PK Horus deck that he took to the Omaha Nebraska Regional. He placed third, and what was your record at that event?
I went 7-1.
All right, I'm gonna let him jump right into his deck profile.
Awesome. Shout out to these tokens first.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, little hobbits, because they're going adventuring. All right, so monsters, PK engine. We play 3 Torn Scale. We play 3 Silent Boots. We play 2 Cloak and 1 Gloves. Pretty standard. I wouldn't change anything about the ratios. Gloves is kind of mediocre at times, but I've tested it without it, and so honestly, I think I'll probably keep it in. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty standard. Other PK cards, 1 Wing and 2 Fogblade. You don't need more than this. Wing is nice because it gives you another name in case you need to get your Banish 2 on a turn to like extend. And then also it has a very cool effect where it stops the monster it's targeting from being destroyed the first time. So against Unchained, you can Phantom Knight's Wing target whatever their Unchained item is, you know, their monster, and then they don't get to pop it. So it's very nice in stopping that deck. My go-to versus Unchained is usually setting these 2, because then I can stop whatever they're popping before going into Yama. They hard link into Yama to try to extend, and then you Fogblade it, and then usually their turn ends. So it's very nice. I like it a lot. Most busted cards in the deck, Imseti. This card, it's new, so I guess I'll explain it. It discards itself and another card from hand for cost, and then it searches the spell, which is King Sarcophagus, and draws you a card. So the other names I play with it are Happy and Dramatef. All of the Horus monsters have the effect when a card on your side of the field leaves the field by an opponent's action, it has an effect that triggers. Imsetis just sends a card from field to grave. Non-targeting, which is great. Happy lets you target 2 cards in either player's graveyard or banish and add them to hand or deck. So it recycles your stuff, adds it back to hand, lets you shuffle their stuff away. It's really nice. Dramatef, some people only play 2 names that play the Horus engine. I think you need to play all 3 for PK because you use these 2 as your first targets to go ahead and make your rank 8, also because they can't be bestialed, which is really nice. And then your Imseti is used as your 3rd material for Bardiche. But that's why you play 3 names. Dramatef's special effect is that you get to draw cards equal to the different names in your, all monster names in your monster zone. So sometimes it says draw 5,
How often are you resolving the secondary effect of being sent to the grave by your opponent's card effects?
So this one almost never, like these 2 don't come up very often because they don't really stay on the board. They almost always end up getting turned into a rank 8 or a link. Imsetis does come up, especially when breaking boards, because usually this is like my extra body that I have, plus it's 3,000, so like it's great for attacking over. So then if they decide to like SP, get rid of something, or whatever it may be, then that's when I get my Imseti sent. So kind of works like Druid's Worm. It's really nice. It just like helps with breaking boards. And then yeah, the spell that it searches, King Sark, this card's absolutely busted. It has 3 different like very good effects. The first one is that your Horus monsters can't be destroyed by card effects that do not target them, so like Lightning Storm, stuff like that, it's not able to be destroyed by. It can't be destroyed just by various effects like that. It has an effect where up to 4 times per turn, you can discard a card from your hand to Foolish Burial one of these guys. And all of these also have the additional effect of being able to special summon themselves as long as you control King Sark. So they're free level 8 bodies. And then the other effect, which actually does come up a decent amount, especially with Imseti, is once per turn at the start of the damage step, if your Horus monster battles, you can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard. So it's just good for being able to clear stuff that you don't always have, outs to. So that's it for the Horus engine. I think you have to play that ratio for this deck. We're playing Adventure. This is still really good in PK. It's a level 3 extender. It helps you play through back row because Draco back is a crazy good card. Just have been really enjoying it. Playing 1 Griffin, 2 right. I was playing 1 for a bit, but honestly I just like seeing right. So I bumped it up to 2 and I had the space for it. And then 1 Draco back. So pretty standard Adventure lineup. Oh, and sorry, 1 Faithful. This obviously is like mandatory. So we're playing some extenders, Tsuchijupu, Danger Tsuchinoko, and Jackalope. These can be really any level 3 extenders. I like them because they allow me to get, like, if they do summon, then I get to go ahead and get a draw, which helps me dig into my adventure engine or into my Horus engine. Because the one thing about this deck is that you almost never have hand advantage after turn 1. You're almost always gonna have your entire hand in grave and field. And so you just want to be able to dig through stuff and find cards that you need. So since there's not really any draw power, I think this gives us like a little pseudo draw engine. And then, yeah, they're level 3 extenders. So I really wouldn't change them, but honestly, they could be really any level 3s. Power spells, 1 Foolish, 1 Rhoda. Your deck loses to Droll anyways, so there's no reason to cut the Rhoda. You just play it.
They got it.
Yeah, if they have it, they have it. You notice we're not manning called by. Again, it's if they have that, they have it. You want as much hand advantage as possible and call by. Like, even if they trade like an Ash, like if you go M-Steady, discard, and they Ash that, you're still trading the M-Steady for their Ash, and then normally you can still play through it. So, and then Foolish, because it's Foolish Burial. Normally I send Enchantress, but it just depends on what I have. And then last 9 cards in the main, 3 Imperm, 3 Nib, and 3 Droplet. The reason why I play these 9 specifically is because all 9 of them out Abyss Dweller, which, like everything in this deck, you can still summon Horus monsters under Abyss Dweller, but you can't do any of your PK plays. So Imperm being able to Imperm the Dweller, Droplet being able to drop with the Dweller, and then Nib, almost all the decks that make Dweller at the end of their board, like Rescue Ace or Tier, different things like that. Very few of them actually end on like an Omni Negate to be able to stop like a Nibiru, because they're just going in on the Dweller, especially when they see that they're playing against PK. So I decided to main the Nib. If I was playing this at a YCS, which I'm sure I will at some point, I would cut the Nibs and play Drolls instead for this format, just because people aren't really going to blind make Dweller game 1, and Droll just hits a more wide variety of decks right now. But definitely I think you should have these 9 in your deck if you're playing this, at least in some capacity. So that's it for the main deck though, 41 cards. Never really felt like I had consistency issues. At the regional only bricked once, and only bricked once tonight, so.
It's working well then.
Yeah, working well. You want side or extra?
Either one, whichever one you're grabbing.
We'll just do a side deck then. 3D Barrier, win more card, not really win more, blowout card. It's really good against Pearly, and it's really good against like Tier, and so a lot of those decks, the thing with like Yu-Gi-Oh right now is that even if you have like a pretty good board, a lot of decks right now are just powerful enough that they can still break through a lot of it, and then like either set up like a Zeus or Typhon or whatever it may be on you. So D-Barrier just kind of makes it to where like even if they are able to play through it, then you know, it just kind of wins you the game. So 3 Droll. Like I said, I would probably switch this for a YCS, but at locals, people, you know, they know what you're on, so they will, you know, hard make the Dweller game 1, so that's why I still like playing Nib for locals. But if for a YCS, I would definitely go with Droll in the main instead. Playing 3 evenly, I'm not playing Thrust, so that's why I'm maxing out on evenly. I want to be able to see this card. I don't like Thrust because there's not really anything in the main deck I want to put it, and I personally don't agree with the idea of Thrust in the side. So that's kind of my idea on that, so that's why I'm playing the 3 evenly. And it's good against Rescue Ace, and it's good against back row decks. 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Called By. This is for Rescue Ace and other back row and just various rogue stuff, and then the Called By comes in when I'm going first, in case they have like Shifter or Troll, anything like that. And then for going second, I keep it in against like Unchained or Tier, because you can hit like the Yama or the Tier name. And then last 3 I played was DD Crow. I wanted this over Druis Worm for a couple reasons. One, because it's searchable off Dark, which is really nice. Against Unchained, they have to respond and do something to the Dark, or else you just get to take their Yama and it loses them 2 interactions. So that actually happened in my round 8 at the regional. I went Dark. He knew that I was gonna be able to take the Yama, so he popped the Dark, and one of his monsters was able to float, but it was fine because I was able to search out the Crow. He goes to use the Yama effect later on, and then I was able to DD Crow it. So I like it a lot. It also hits Pearly, which Druis Worm doesn't really hit Pearly. Being able to banish their sleepy target when they go for Noir effect is really strong. So I like Crow. I wouldn't change that, at least not for this format. And then extra deck. 1 Jeer Beanie, best card. It sends any level 3, and it's part of your main combo. Its best friend, Bardiche. This card, I mean, it was banned and they brought it back, so I'm happy. It lets you set a Phantom Knight trap and then Foolish Burial. Pretty standard for PK. I did play IP and SP. This card is oppressive, probably the best card that we've had printed in a very long time. I would say anytime that I stuck SP on the board, I won the game at the regional, especially going first. It's very, very oppressive. Going second, it's still decent because you're able to help break boards. The important thing though is that you can't OTK. So I honestly try not to go SP a whole lot going second, or at least I don't use the first effect when going second, because you'll see later on I play a OTK package that I really want to be able to resolve. So it just kind of depends. And then IP to go into SP. So play a dark, taking their SP is stupid. So OTK, I play Raider's Knight and Rebellion Dragon. This is how I win probably 60%, 70% of my games, unless they scoop on the Raider's Knight first. Against Luna on feature, I think I summoned Arc Rebellion and it was at like, I don't know, 15,000 attack, something crazy. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. And it was very good for me at the regional as well. Against an Eldritch player, this thing got like 20K. I mean, it's so strong. And it's so easy to make as well. 2 Break Sword, I think this is mandatory. You need to be able to do Break Sword on your opening combo, and then also having the second one for follow-up is nice. For my rank 8s, I actually play a really big rank 8 package compared to other PK and Horus decks. So I play the one Photon Lord, which is a monster negate. I play the one Harbinger, which is a spell negate. And then I play Sanafond, which is a basically like Necro Valley for 2 turns. You summon it during your combo against like Tyr, and I did it against, sorry, not Tyr. Against Danger, which is not the only reason it's in here, but it's because it's good against Unchained. But on stream today, I summoned this against Austin. He was on Dark World, and this, I mean, it's crazy. Not letting them summon from grave is really nuts. And it turns off your own graveyard too, but that's fine because like all of your interruption is going to be on field at that point. So, and you can link it off in your combo as well. So, because it's just it's a lingering effect for 2 turns. And then last rank 8, Zombie Vampire. This is part of your combo. If you don't open up like a way into Bardiche, then you can extend using Vampire. So 4 rank 8s, and then last 2 cards are Zeus because it's Zeus, and then Typhon. This card is insane. This is like helps you just destroy Branded because their Mirror Jade just doesn't exist at that point. It's really good against, you'll see it on stream. It's really good against Lab because the Lovely Lady, like it doesn't allow them to activate the big one's effect. Turbulence, I believe, is 3,000, so it can't activate Turbulence either. It does so much, and it's way too easy to summon. So this card probably shouldn't be in the game, but it is. So we're gonna abuse it while we can.
Why not? All right, now you did mention during the profile that the combo you were doing with Cherubini. Could we possibly do a quick walkthrough of that very fast before we get kicked out of here?
Yeah, so it's depending on your hand, it's gonna be a little bit different. So I'll just go ahead and show off the main M board here.
Let me get zoomed out. All right.
Yeah, you're good. All right, so we're gonna get to a point where we have Bardiche here. We have IP here. We're gonna have Photon Lord here. I'll kind of show how we get to the steps here. Hopefully you can see everything.
Yes, I got everything zoomed out. You're good.
Fogblade, Fogblade. Let's go. Where are you at? Faithful, Draco. Griffin. Where's my boy at? Griffin. And Wing. This guy. Okay. So this is what your like best end board is. Obviously, hand traps, you know, will play a factor. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more card missing from this.
There's so many already. What are you talking about?
I know. It literally fills up every zone except for this one. Okay, this one. Okay, so the end boards will vary depending on obviously like what your opening hand is, because if you don't draw or open up into your adventure package, you know, you're not gonna have the Griffin here unless you send it off Cherubini. If you don't open up the Horus stuff, you're not gonna have the rank 8 because there isn't a way to tutor this, but I mean, you're playing 3 Mseti, 3 Sark, ways to draw. And then the PK stuff, like you just need 2 level 3s to go. So your main line that you're gonna do most of the time is that you're going to first start out with your 2 level 3s are gonna go into Cherubini. Your Cherubini is either gonna send your extender to make Bardiche, or it's gonna send Enchantress if you already have like enough extenders in hand to be able to go into Bardiche. So if you send Enchantress, that gets you into, or you didn't open it, that gets you into your adventure play, which is nice. If you open the adventure stuff, then you can go ahead and send whatever your extender is gonna be for Cherubini to make your Bardiche. Your Bardiche is what gets you the 2 Fog Blades, as well as the wings plus Breaksword setup. So that's going to be your first interruptions. And then the Horus engine, what you get out of that is you get the Omni Negate here if you want, or whatever rank 8 you decide. And you get some crazy graveyard recursion as well. And then part of your PK engine is that when you destroy the Breaksword, it brings back your 2 names, and then you turn those into IP. So on their turn, assuming that you know you weren't hand trapped or anything, you're going to have the 2 Fog Blades, you're going to have the Griffin Negate, you're gonna have whatever your rank 8 is. Sometimes this is just Zombie Vampire, but sometimes it's also the Photon Lord. In Grave, you're gonna have Wing plus Breaksword. So the Breaksword summon is going to trigger the Bardiche to go ahead and get you a pop. And then your last thing that you're gonna have here is gonna be your IP, which you're gonna link off into SP. SP is going to give you 1 more banish, and then also the second effect to be able to banish 2 cards. So you're normally on average going to have about, if your full combo goes through, you're looking at like 5 to 6 interruptions usually. So a lot of it is based off of your mills and your opening hand. So like it's definitely a deck that you just need to practice with and just kind of see what your lines are going to be, because there isn't like a normal summon 1 card go into like a certain combo aside from just like the basic PK combo. But yeah. It's definitely got a very high ceiling. So
how well does it play through negates? Like besides Droll, because if you get hit with Droll, it's kind of all over. But
yeah, Droll's very tough.
Otherwise than that, like other interruptions.
Yeah,
like
so
an
like
Ash or anything or Veiler.
Yeah, I mean Ash, Veiler, a lot of those honestly they don't do it. Like if that's your only interruption, it's not really going to be doing enough. Just because like if you start, so your best start in this deck, and what I feel like I see so often just because of the consistency of the deck, is Mseti plus Enchantress. So Mseti, discard Enchantress, it's going to add you the spell to your hand, draw you a card, and then it's going to set up your adventure plays. So you get Griffin off of this, and then you also get your rank 8 play. And so that's just off of these 2, and you're drawing a card. So if the other 3 cards in your hand, or the one that you draw off of this, are at least a level 3 monster, it allows you to go full into your Cherubini, goes into your Bardiche, and full combos. So like let's say they Ash this. I mean this is an okay Ash. I mean, it's probably the best thing to Ash because you're stopping the draw and the search. But the issue is like, then you still have to deal with the adventure engine plus the PK stuff. So like, this deck is super resilient to hand traps overall. It's really good against like evenly, some different blowouts. I mean, obviously there's ways like that you can lose for sure. Shifter is like very tough to play through as well. But in terms of like 1 to 2 hand traps, it's usually not a huge problem.
Alrighty, well thank you Ryan for bringing us your PK Horus deck that you got 3rd place with at the Omaha Nebraska Regional. Make sure to stay tuned. Later on we will have some live duels from our local feature matches. That way you can check that out and see how it plays in those live duels. But that's all I've got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell on the way out the door because all your support is greatly appreciated. But that's all I've got for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nathan from the Script Academy, signing up for now. Peace out.